Dear students, thank you for your patience. Welcome today to our live webinar on the topic, Understand the Importance of Intercultural Skills and How to Create Global Sustainable Solutions. I would like to inform you at this point that we do have the Q&A section for you where you can share your questions with us, and our esteemed list of panelist members will be happy to take it ahead. I would also like to let you know that today we will be covering in-depth information about the three programs: MSc in Sustainable and Inclusive Development, MSc in Sustainable Rural Development, and MSc in Compassion, Peace, Humanitarian Action, and Disaster Risk Management. Please know that currently at MIT World Peace University, we are accepting applications for all these three programs. So I request you to have a look at admissions.mit-wpu.edu.in and select the program of your choice and do send in your admissions applications to us. Dear students, I also understand that during this time of COVID-19 pandemic and the lockdown of our country, this is an uncertain time and you may feel overwhelmed and anxious as to the admissions process. Please be assured that our staff here at MIT World Peace University is working relentlessly to make sure that the entire admissions process is completely streamlined to help each and every one of you go through it seamlessly. All right, so without any further delay, let's get started with this webinar. We have Dr. Joe Thomas, who will be sharing his presentation on today's crucial topic, which is understand the importance of intercultural skills and how you can create global sustainable solutions. Dear students, I'd like to welcome Dr. Joe Thomas now here so that Sir can give us detailed information on this topic.
Thank you, Suki. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, all the students and the faculty who are on this panel. And I'm delighted to invite you all to this program because we'll be discussing in details about what are the opportunities, what's the idea behind this program, and what you can expect from this program. My name is Professor Joe Thomas. I'm the Associate Dean of the Faculty of Sustainability Studies, and these programs are presented by the Faculty of Sustainability Studies. When we talk about the intercultural issues, one thing we know today, the well-being of the people is connected, and the well-being of the people is connected well with the planet. In 2015, 180 leaders of the planet, they came together and they created certain set of development goals. These are called Sustainable Development Goals. There are 17 goals, and in our master's program, what we did is we unpacked the 17 goals and created a master's program. And also what you have to remember is that there are many programs, there are many master's level programs. These are unique programs focusing on sustainability. And what is sustainability? We have limited resources and growing needs, and we need to progress as well. We have to keep this balance between these two. And this is where the principle of sustainability becomes relevant. The sustainable development allows bringing a balance between economic, environmental, and social needs of the human society. And also this program has got very much relevant to the Indian current socio-political needs. And we know that 65% of the Indian population are living in the rural areas. By 2015, 9.7 billion people in the world work in rural economy. And the world needs to produce about 70% more food than today what we create. Both urban and rural areas are exposed to climate change, impacting the economy. Cities are overcrowded beyond its capacities. The poverty is leading to further marginalization. And this situation requires intervention by trained and sustainable development practitioners. That's what we're promising. We will assist you to become practitioners of sustainable development of national and global prominence. And as I mentioned earlier, these three programs, MSc Sustainable and Inclusive Development, MSc Sustainable Rural Development, MSc in Compassion, Peace and Humanitarian Action, and Disaster Risk Management, all three are part of the School of Sustainability Studies. And we have further 5 programs, and out of these 5, today we are introducing only 3. And I would invite you to look at our webpage for the further details. And some of you may ask, what are the career opportunities after doing sustainability studies? As I mentioned earlier, remember these master's programs are unique niche programs. You may see probably 10,000 engineers coming out, 20,000 MBAs are coming out, but you may not see more than probably a couple of hundred students who got masters in sustainability studies. And when we looked at even the national level, probably 5 universities are offering 5 departments on sustainability studies. And this master's level program, which leads to fellowships, additional work in social work, it provides opportunities for consultancy, policy making, and the sustainable studies, the policy making and the policy areas is one of the major career opportunities. Teaching, of course, is another career opportunity. Research analysis and activism. Many of the people, they create their own civil society. Many of them, they create their own non-governmental organization to take their idea of interacting with society forward. And also, if you look at the broader vision and mission which is inspiring us to take this program, we aspire to create trained and inclusive development experts and planners to contribute to and provide alternative to the existing knowledge and practices of sustainable development and management. That's the vision inspiring us to put this program together. And what's our mission? Our mission is about sensitizing the students about the complexity of the society. To train students in knowledge, technology and practice of sustainable development, and most importantly, social inclusion. Our mission is about to develop critical talent and wisdom to analyze and plan holistically with human approach. So this is a mission and vision which inspires us. And the next slide is about the program structure of our 3 programs. And all this program structure, I put it together. And what you have to remember is that these are tri-semester program. In a year, we have 3 semesters. And the first semester is about a foundation course. Foundation courses consist of understanding Indian society, introduction to political economy, India's development experience, understanding India's political structure, mini project, and peace course. So these are our foundation course. And the tri-semester 2 is about our core courses and some of the electives are the next semester. So the basic structure is that foundation course, the core course, and electives. So this is the way all these 3 programs are put together. I'm not getting into the details. All the details, specific details are on the web. I would request you to take a look at our web for the details of our course design and the program outline. And also what I wanted to tell you is about the basic idea of sustainability, what I mentioned earlier, unpacked from the Sustainable Development Goals of 17, which is particularly, we may say that it's a custom-made program looking at sustainability. And we will be delighted to invite the students to the faculty. We are some of the best experienced nationally, internationally known people in the area of sustainability studies. And also, there are several experienced staff who are working in publication. They are published extensively. They have extensive research experience. And also, they are working for MIT-WPU University as a full-time faculty. And also we have visiting faculty, large number of them, who are coming on with their specific expertise in the broader areas and the niche areas of sustainability studies. And what we are offering is a unique learning and teaching experience. We can promise that this will be unique than any other programs we can expect, sustainable development programs, which you can get from any other country. Any other, I mean, this is almost, I can guarantee that this is a globally at par with any other international programs. Thank you very much, and we are open for taking questions. Thanks again.
Okay, great. All right, dear students. So you heard that very detailed presentation from Dr. Joe Thomas on the programs that we are offering for this particular field of sustainability studies. At this point, I would request all of you to kindly make a note of our WhatsApp number that we have for you. It's 9881 492 848. So that's 9881 492 848. And of course, once this webinar is over, please feel free to get in touch with us on that number, and we'll be very, very happy to answer all your queries related to the three programs and our topic today. Now, I'd like to remind you once again, for all the students who are joining us right now, we do have an esteemed list of panelist members present today. So I urge you to ask all your questions in our Q&A section that we have for you today. That's right. There is a Q&A section and you can type out your questions, and one of our faculty members and panelist members will be answering all your queries. All right, so without any further delay, and before we move on to our next round, which is the live question and answer audio round, and you heard this right, students, we do have a live Q&A segment wherein we will be taking up your questions in detail and our faculty members will be answering all your queries. So I request you and urge you to ask all your questions in the Q&A section. And of course, I also want to let you all know that we are currently taking admissions applications to the three programs that we are talking about today at MIT World Peace University. And these three programs are the MSc in Sustainable and Inclusive Development, MSc in Sustainable Rural Development, and MSc in compassion, peace, humanitarian action, and disaster risk management. So these are the three programs, very niche programs, dear students. For those of you who are passionate about sustainability studies, these are your go-to niche master's program that you can absolutely consider as the next step for your career ambitions. And of course, now we will be getting on to our Q&A segment. And I do want to remind you that you can check in admissions.mitwpu.edu.in and share your admissions applications with us for these three programs so that we can guide you further as to the next steps. Now, dear students, I understand that we are going through a COVID-19 pandemic and the lockdown of our country. Given that this is the situation, we are working very hard at MIT World Peace University to make sure that the entire admissions process goes online and that each and every one of you can seamlessly go through it online without actually having your physical presence made for any of it, given the safety concerns. We are going to talk more about this, and I'm sure you're also going to have lots of questions on this. So you know what to do. You just have to type out your question in the Q&A section and we'll get to it very shortly. All right, for our next round, we also again have Dr. Joe Thomas And we will be joined by Aparna Vatve ma'am on the audio, and Neeta ma'am will also join us for certain questions. All right, so our first question is from a student, and our student is asking us, what is the eligibility criteria for these courses?
Thank you for asking that question. The basic eligibility is that students should clear the graduate degree with minimum 40% marks. So that's a basic criteria. And also we have certain university requirement, and the admission process is based on a university level entrance test, and also subjected to an interview, personal interview, and maybe depends on the certain situation, we may ask you to write a purpose of statement of purpose as well. Thank you. I may request Abarna ma'am to supplement my brief answer. Abarna ma'am, please.
Yes, sir. So as Dr. Joe sir has said, minimum requirement is bachelor's with 40%. However, we would look forward to the people who have some experience. So if you have worked with any social organization, done some social work either during your school or college time, or if you have been associated with any of the NGOs, even purely out of voluntary work, that would be a great advantage. So when you write your statement of purpose, please do mention that what kind of motivation you have, what are your interests, passions, all these things would be really helpful for us when we see the application. So that's all for the moment.
All right, dear students, you heard that. As you can tell, we are, of course, in the process of simplifying the admissions process for all of you, given the hurdles and obstacles that we are facing this year. So, please note and please listen to our faculty carefully today so that you can seamlessly, go through all the steps and secure your place in one of these very revered programs in the field of sustainability studies. All right, our next question is coming from Ashia Shinde, and she's asking us, why do I select this program as a career option?
To selecting a career option, that's basically is a reflection of one's own projection of the values and what they want to do in their life. There are many issues which are contributing towards why you select a program. When I invite you to join these three programs in sustainability studies, and number one, this is very socially relevant. Number two, it's very timely. And number three, if you look around, all of us are going through a very unique social experience, a social phenomena of shutdown because of an epidemic. If you look at the three programs which are offering, this has got very significant relationship. For example, take the case of the disaster management program. What you're talking today is about a public health emergency which is snowballed into a natural an international calamity. So many of these programs could be managed by people who are trained in disaster management. Just give an example about the relevance of that. And also what we notice that the importance of Indian rural sector as a producers of food, producers of opportunities for employment, and also in terms of a critical social situation, many of the rural workers, they go back to the village. So understanding about sustainable rural situation is an important factor in rebuilding India after the COVID pandemic time. And also, if you look at the sustainability in its totality, and probably the challenge of the COVID pandemic is about sustainability in the health sector, sustainability in the social sector, and sustainability in the social policy level. So that way, these three programs are relevant, contemporary, and most important. You may be able to contribute significantly towards building of this great nation. Thank you.
Okay, great. Aparna, ma'am, if did you want to add a few more insights?
Yes, thank you, Suchirupa. So, if you are looking at any of these programs, you can take a look at the website also. You will realize that these are very holistic programs. So, in the past, one would have only option of doing just sociology or just anthropology, um, economics. But today, the situation had changed. To survive in this society and to do any career, we need to have understanding of various subjects. So our programs are designed as transdisciplinary programs, which means that tomorrow, once you pass out of this, you will have varied career options. And if you take a look at the faculty that we have, who's in this faculty of sustainability studies, all of us come from diverse backgrounds, and we have developed into this faculty by experience, and this is the experience that we are sharing. uh, I feel that today there is a great need of people who understand diverse aspects of society. So this program will, prepare you for different careers. And as Joe sir has said, there are career opportunities in development field, in corporate sector. They are there in the government sector. They are also there in international governance and various voluntary sectors. So I feel that you have a lot of choice if you choose any of these programs.
Okay, great. Dear students, you heard the kind of diverse, in-depth, and a prolific program that we are talking about today. In fact, there are three different master's program in the field of sustainability studies. And I would like to add one more point to this, that remember that this is very different from a management degree or an engineering degree, where there's a lot of competition and a lot of students go for these programs, right? So even in terms of job prospects, they're not much because too many people are pursuing these degrees. Whereas when you look at a sustainability studies master's program, your job prospects are probably brighter. The careers are probably more value based, and especially when it comes to sustainability. And also the competition is not that much, because if you look at the rates of the number of graduates in this program, they're not much, so really you are enabling yourself to get into all those very dynamic and bright career prospects which would be there in the field of sustainability studies by pursuing these programs. So I really, really hope that you will explore this. We are getting lots of questions from students. So we'll move on to our next question. We have one student asking us, what is the fees for these courses?
Before I answer that question, let me acknowledge some of the students who are online. I can see some of the names: Bharati, Jaya, Pranchal, and Ravi. And I hope some of you we may be meeting in person. And each course, the fees is a 2-year program, is 3 lakhs, 1.5 the first year and 1.5 lakh second year. And also you have to remember we have a very interesting scholarship program, and also we have a subsidized program for international study tour, and also we have a rural immersion program. So this all part of the package of our the fee structure. Thank you.
Okay, great. All right, ma'am, Aparna ma'am, any further comments?
No, not at the moment.
All right. Okay, so Shivanya Sahu, you had asked us about the fees, and I hope that answers your question. Please also know that, like Sir mentioned, we do have a very prolific scholarship policy in place. And of course, you can also pay the fees through installments. We definitely have those kinds of support systems available for all our students. So I certainly hope that you will take further interest in this program. Okay, our next question is coming from Ria Prabhakaran, and Ria is asking us, what are the career opportunities for students who do not have a background in any social sciences? Ria is from a commerce background. So she's asking what are the career opportunities for students who do not have a background in social sciences? And of course, is there any assistance that is provided for placements after the completion of this course?
And thank you, Ria, asking for that question. I could see Ria Prabhakaran's name in the attendees list. Once you do master's degree, you are a master of sustainability studies. If you take any of these three, nobody is going to go back and look at your graduation level. What did you do? Whether it's commerce, it could be science. Even we have students from engineering background. We have computer engineers. We have a doctor. So once what you do at the undergraduate level becoming not much relevant once you do a master's level. So you will be looking for career opportunities as a sustainable development expert. During your training program, you will be exposed to the theories and methods and principles of sustainability and sustainable development related issues. And also you will be placed, you'll have a compulsory placement internship in various agencies that will give you a direction towards what job you may be able to take it up. And in the broader sense, the job opportunities are at the civil society, at the government sector, NGOs, international agencies, and the United Nations, and both at the national level and also at the international level. And the faculty, most of the faculty are well experienced, very internationally and nationally well networked, and our professional association. And definitely we will be assisting all our students to get a very good placement as part of that is our pride and as part of our teaching to support students and mentor them and provide additional support. That's one of the peculiar, a particular a contract we make with the students, that each faculty will provide personalized support for each students to go forward in their life. I hope Ria is happy with this answer. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Aparna ma'am, any final comments?
Yes, Suchirupa, thank you. I just wanted to thank Ria for her interest. And in fact, this program is for everyone. We encourage students from diverse backgrounds to join this program because the program itself gets enriched from various views that come. Social science also has a very important component of economics and commerce because development is all about that in many ways. So I think you will find a lot of courses of your interest. So let me just tell you how the course is structured. We know that we get students from different backgrounds. So the first trimester, the first 3 months are dedicated to bringing everybody on single platform where we give foundation courses. So foundation courses talk about India's development experience, sociology, political sciences, which are the core of social sciences. So I think you will realize very soon that you can catch up whatever you feel you may have missed in social sciences. And after that, then there are different kinds of courses which some student will take a combination of certain courses, and also you can look at that from the website. I think you will find that economics course is what you understand better, but you will also look at other courses that have quite a good career opportunity in future. So, as Joseph has said, at the end of the course, you are a complete person. You are completely ready for sustainable development work. That's all for the moment.
Okay, great. All right. So we are going on to our next question. I can see a lot of student interest in these degrees because surely there are great careers that you can all get into by pursuing these kinds of niche master's programs. And like we mentioned, of course, here at MIT World Peace University, we have a 40-year legacy, and we do have a huge industry, academia, and NGO tie-up. So your internships and your placements, you will be completely supported and assisted with. And we are also in touch with national as well as international agencies, which also absorb our sustainability students, into the very different kind of and varied job roles that they may have available. So dear students, do not worry on your placement and your internship side, even though these will be obvious concerns for each of you. Rest assured, it is definitely helped and supported, and our faculties give personal attention to students to ensure that every one of you can put their best foot forward and be industry ready. All right, our next question is coming from Shivanya again, Shivanya Sahu, and she's asking us, what are the parameters for the selection process? So I would in fact invite Aparna ma'am here to give us a step-by-step breakdown of what the admission process looks like for students for these programs.
I will give a brief background, Suchirupa, but I think Nita madam can then explain it a bit better than me. So in the admission, we will have a entrance test, short entrance test, just to look at the aptitude. Then we are asking for statement of purpose and also a personal interview. Now this interview is just for us to get to know you and what are your inclinations and what kind of experiences you have had. So it's going to be like a simple question answer kind of interview. Um, about the documents, what is needed and others, maybe Nita madam can enlighten us on that.
So I'd just like to add on to the steps that you gave, Aparna ma'am, that's absolutely perfect. At the same time, in today's situation with COVID-19 happening, the dates and the form of the assessment, like ma'am mentioned, the personal interview, we always do personal interviews face to face. Face to face is always better. But because of the current lockdown, COVID-19 situation, there's a complete possibility of all our interactions being online. So, of course, university will keep you updated about how that's going to work. And if there are any changes, because this can actually affect anything from the admission process to documents may have to be scanned and sent, different things it will affect. So, for that purpose, we will keep you updated, and you must watch your email and phone number, etc., with which you're registering with us for all the updates that we give you, because it's a changing environment. As you know, every single day there are new updates for the country, in fact, for the world. So keep that in mind. And yes, SOP, personal interview. Again, interview is not really, like ma'am said, about assessing you. It's about finding the rhythm between you and our program. Will it match? It's trying to make sure that you are there in the right place with the right program. There is definitely more than one MSc program to make sure are you choosing the right one as well, to help you with that as well. So that's it from me. In terms of paperwork, I think as you get your admission offer, then we can get into the nitty-gritties of that. But essentially the same, birth certificate. If you're not from a general category, then that certificate, your 10th score, your 12th score. Keep in mind, your graduation score may not be completely with you at the moment, but you must send your semester-wise scores, put them into the application form as well. And even if your final exams have not happened, you can still apply. And then as and when the exams happen, as and when you get the results, you will if you get chosen, you'll be offered a provisional admission subject to the eligibility getting met. But looking at your semester-wise scores from the graduation semester, it's easy to assess as a trend if you're eligible or not. So that way we will give you a provisional admission. Hence, even if your final exams have not happened, even if you've not got your final result as yet, you can go ahead and apply and be there for the merit list. Thank you.
I would like to add one sentence more to that.
Yes, sir.
Admission is a long process, and sometimes it's a stressful process, and there are different students who have different requirement. Sometimes we know that some students, they may need a certificate to show that they have an admission to seek a scholarship program or maybe a bank loan. There are different requirements for different students. If any of the students who got any specific requirement like that to seek a provisional admission immediately, provided they clear all the basic requirements, and they could approach us seeking this provisional admission, as a priority basis, there is a provision from the dean's discretionary decision. And you're most welcome to come and contact us for exploring that possibility. Thank you.
All right, dear students, those are very reassuring words coming to you from the Associate Dean himself, who is telling you that certainly in this situation, it is possible that you may not have gotten your 12th standard results yet. Maybe there is some information that you're not able to share right now with your admissions applications form. But I do assure you that we have taken all those glitches and those loopholes into consideration for your admissions process. And I do want to let you know that you can always come back to your admissions applications and fill in those details, such as the 12th, 12th marks, or maybe your graduation marks if you still haven't gotten those, or if anything else that is remaining or pending that you're waiting for still. Please understand, you can still go ahead and send in your admissions applications for these programs. And once you do send us the applications, you can always go back to your applications later once you receive these information, and you can add it to that application form. Okay, so that's one thing. The other thing is just a quick walkthrough as to our admissions process. It's pretty simple. All you have to do is get into admissions.mitwpu.edu.in and look for the program that you're interested in. Today, we are talking about the three different programs that we have for you, for which we are accepting applications. And those are the MSc in Sustainable and Inclusive Development, the MSc in Sustainable Rural Development, and the MSc in Compassion, Peace, Humanitarian Action, and Disaster Risk Management. All right, so those are the three master's programs that we are talking about today. And dear students, please know that you can send in your applications. And so the first step is you will send in your paid applications. Once you fill in all the details in the application, you can make a payment of about 1500 rupees, and that sends your applications to us, showing us that you're interested in this program. And then we can get in touch with you personally over email, SMS, through all the communication channels, and ensure that you're aware of the next steps for this program. Now, typically, this is still being rolled out, but you can expect that you have to submit a statement of purpose, which Aparna ma'am was talking about. A statement of purpose is very simple. I believe you just have to talk about why you're interested in this program. We'll get to Aparna ma'am one more time and ask her to tell us a little more about exactly what is expected in the statement of purpose. It's really a simple document that you're going to write out, talking about your passion for this particular degree and why you're interested in sustainability studies. Okay, and then of course you will also have to appear for an entrance exam, which is the PG PET entrance exam. Now, the reason you have an entrance exam for these courses is because there is a score that every student needs to submit so that they can be sent a provisional admission. Okay, please understand, it is not that this will be a very difficult exam. It is just a general aptitude exam. It will be a multiple choice question based exam with very basic aptitude, maybe some general knowledge, some English, a little bit to test out your numerical ability. It's like any other general aptitude test, okay? And your score will allow us to assess you further, and then send you the provisional admission. Okay, since I'm sure you'll understand, since there are so many sort of marks and documents which are still pending from students, and rightly so, because of the situation we are in. This is sort of the new policy that we are bringing in to make sure that we can still have you in and still give you the provisional admissions from our end. for those of you who are very passionate about this program and are the right fit. So I hope that makes it very, very clear for you. Aparna ma'am, if I can quickly have a word from you on what is it that you are looking for as in the statement of purpose.
Thank you, Suchirupa. So, statement of purpose is simply your thoughts about why you are joining this program, what has been your background, what have been your interests, uh, just generally explaining the kind of things that you have done. If you have experience which is related to this program or relevant to this program, or what is your passion in general, how you would like to see yourself in, let's say, after this program or in 10 years. It's a very simple kind of document. Uh, we are just trying to understand your train of thoughts. And also, the way you write your thoughts helps us to understand about what kind of are your motivations, what would be your interest in our program. So, that is to be submitted before the interview. That will help us during our interview to discuss with you on the topics that are of your interest. This idea about this entrance or this SOP or the interview is not to throw you out. It's basically to welcome you in so that it becomes a more simple process where we can understand each other better. I hope that explains the statement of purpose.
Absolutely, ma'am. Thank you so much. So, dear students, you heard it. It's pretty simple. Send in your paid applications. Okay, just keep your eye out for the PG PET exam, entrance exam, which will be conducted. It's a very simple multiple choice test. Just a general aptitude check of students. Of course, there's a statement of purpose which will be there, and there might also be a personal interview which will be taken. We want to make sure all of you know this, that all of this will be conducted online, dear students. You do not have to appear physically in person for any of this process. All of it will be taken online, which is why we urge you to please send in your applications earlier rather than later so that we can get in touch with you and inform you as to the next steps. Okay. Okay, we have lots of interesting student questions, and our next question is from a student who's asking us, may I know what are the accreditations and certifications of these master's degrees, and also what is the intake of these programs or the rough batch size?
Thank you for that question. Um, this program is offered by a fully accredited university. As you know that the universities are broadly under the quality assurance of the University Grants Commission. So the MIT-WPU University is fully accredited to provide master's level, undergraduate level, PhD level program. So that itself it's a fully accredited, fully acknowledged, fully affiliated with the University Grants Commission or the Government of India. So that itself is the first accreditation part of it. And the second one is about we are part of the many of the professional associations, and we'll encourage students to be part of the professional association of representing their own profession. So these are the major two accreditation process we talk about it. And also during the process of the education, the affiliation with different agencies, that will indirectly act as an accreditation process. And also you know that the Indian higher education and the professional sector, there are very limited professional accreditation other than the engineering and management. In the social science, in the broadly on sustainable development studies, the accreditation is whether it's a university accredited program or not. Well, it's a university accredited university master's level program, ensuring the minimum quality which is set forward by the UGC. And normally a master's level program, we're talking about minimum 1,200 hours of teaching and training. And if you look at carefully, this program is almost 1,500 hours of teaching and training. So it is well above the minimum requirement of the UGC, the teaching and training. And also we have some very unique teaching and learning methodology as part of the MIT's program. MIT World Peace University has streamlined the specific the learning objective. Number one, mandatory rural immersion program, and also we have a very specific international immersion program. Students go for international study program, and we have a special peace training program, and also mostly it is looking at it as a value-based education program. So the entire package of curriculum that you're providing is a very uniquely created for the MIT World Peace University, and the syllabus is created exclusively for the university, and the faculty who are teaching are well experienced, well trained, and well reputed faculty. So this is my brief response towards that question. Thank you. And maybe Avarna ma'am can add to this. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I just wanted to answer that there are 40 seats, so we look forward to having you with us.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, great. So, all right, now we are going to our next question. It is from Ravi Kamble, and he's asking us, is this course eligible for any scholarships?
Avarna ma'am, you want to take that question?
Yes, thank you, sir. So we are eligible for Government of India scholarships. And if you have already got a scholarship at bachelor level, you may know the procedures as such. It's a same kind of format. Uh, Apart from that, we also have a scholarship schedule with our own university. So I suggest that you take a look at our website and through the course, and you will find the details about scholarship that is given. We have different types of scholarships depending upon your marks in the previous course as such. So do take a look at that.
Okay, great. All right. We have our next question from a student who's asking us, which one is better, the MSc Masters in Compassion and Peace, or the MSc in Sustainable and Inclusive Development?
See, these two are very specialized niche program. So whether it is one is good, bad, basically the student's decision. Suppose you have some aptitude towards or special interest in looking at the disaster management, and that's slightly different from sustainable development. That gives the theories and methods of sustainability. It's looking at what are the development model, and that gives a very, very solid conceptual understanding or theoretical understanding about sustainability in a broader sense on the national level, international level. Whereas the disaster management give a detailed history analysis of the different disasters happen in India, from a Latur earthquake to, if you look at our neighboring countries, Nepal earthquake recently. So what are the factors contributed towards these disasters, and how do you manage disaster, and how do you mitigate disaster, how do you build resilience for dealing with the disasters. So, for example, now earlier, if you look at some of the cyclone from in the state of Orissa, it very recurringly about 10 years ago they used to get cyclone, but nowadays last year the death rate of people because of cyclone is reduced significantly. That's actually the contribution of the disaster management, the domain which we created, the knowledge, the experience and expertise. So which course to take is basically personal call and personal choice. So as a faculty, for us, each one is providing a very unique learning opportunity, and which gives a very unique opportunity to specialize in certain areas of social response. Thank you.
Okay, great. All right. Our next question is once again from Ria, and Ria is asking us, ma'am, I have given my national entrance exams such as CAT and CMAT and others. Do I still have to give the college's entrance exam? Aparna, ma'am, if I could have you take that one.
Yes, thank you. So Ria, I'm really glad that you have given these exams. you will have to give this entrance exam just because we have it as a procedure. So it is same for all the students who are applying to this university. But I'm quite sure that if you have already studied for these exams and you have passed it or you have prepared for it, then you will not find any problem in crossing this exam or getting marks. So again, as I'm telling you, this entrance is not to cut off anybody. It is basically to look at your aptitude. So once when we meet you, we can interact much better with you. So you will have to give the exam. That's the short answer.
All right. Okay, great. Next question is coming from a student who is asking us, how is the MSc in Compassion and Peace Studies different, say, from a Master's in Sustainable Rural Development? I would request Aparna ma'am to take that as well.
Yes, thank you. So, just previously, Joser has pointed out that every program here has got its specific, kind of niche. And if you look at the program structure, you will see that there are common elements in the programs, but the focus differs. So you will have to maybe understand more about the rural aspects of it, the rural development aspects of it, the rural management aspects, if you are choosing the sustainable rural development. Whereas the program on compassion, peace, humanitarian action, and disaster risk management is focusing a lot on the issue of disaster and dealing with disasters as a society and also at peace building. So if you have inclination towards action or humanitarian action, um, I think that is the program that will interest you more. So this is the basic difference as such. In the disaster program, we have a lot of focus on internships with organizations which are doing disaster management. The focus of that program is also on resilience building. What can you do to prepare the society or have development which does not alter because of any natural or man-made disaster? So that the focus will be of development for resilience purpose. Same way in the sustainable rural development, it will look at how rural development has happened in the past and what are the options that we have for future. How to make sure that sustainable rural societies develop. As you are seeing, we are in this COVID situation. We have realized what are our gaps and shortcomings in the rural areas. Although development has been very obvious in the urban areas, rural societies have been lagging in some cases, and that issue is going to come forward now. So I think choose according to what interests you more, but both programs have their own special niches. Thank you.
Okay, great. Our next question is a very interesting question coming from a student who's asking us, what are the specific career and say job roles or job designations that are part of each of these three programs? So, Aparna ma'am, in fact, if I can just have you on this one as well, just stating for each of the programs, because there are three different programs, and of course they tie in into each other, and they do of course talk about sustainability studies as a whole. But for each of the programs, what are the kind of niche job roles that a student can kind of look forward to?
Yes. So thank you for asking this question. Very interesting question, as you have said. See, there is now a great need of development professionals, but development professionals are of different types. So the one who can manage the disaster related risk or can do resilience building, that is one. So there is a National Disaster Management Authority. Every state government has got a disaster department. Every district, every now even in at local level, there is a committee or there is a group of people who will deal specifically with disaster, because we need to respond to the disasters of different kind in a great hurry. So many organizations like United Nations Development Program, World Health Organizations, they have jobs as disaster or resilience management professionals, which you can look at. Now, sustainable rural development, um, there are rural development jobs, there is National Rural Livelihood Mission. There are various mission programs which employ um, students or development professionals. Many international NGOs have development professionals, and they are working in various parts of the country, and they are doing a great job of improving the uh, development parameters in every place. So that is for sustainable rural development. I would just say that all the corporate sectors today have corporate social responsibility division, CSR division, and these are the people who used to come mainly from human resources background, but they did not have any training about how to interact with the rural society, or how to interact with people, how to plan development. So more and more there is now need of development professionals in the jobs at CSR department. So you might be knowing that Tatas have a very large uh, CSR, community social responsibility, corporate social responsibility cell. Same way, all the corporates are supposed to um, do CSR to some level at different places. Apart from that, sustainable and inclusive development, I would say, is more focused on the future. Sustainable development goals are to be satisfied by all the governments. So today, every ministry, every industry is looking at how they can respond and fulfill the sustainable development goals by 2030. So there are jobs possibilities in the government sector and in all the different corporate sectors also for this. Joseph
Okay,
would like
great.
to add something to this?
Yes. Dr. Joe, any last comments?
I just wanted to thank all the students, and I can acknowledge, I can see some of the names: Jaya, Ravi, Ria, and Shivania, and also I thank all of the students who asked questions. We look forward to personally interacting with some of you soon. And remember,
Absolutely.
we are going through a very unique situation, and all of us are closed down. So if you have any special requirement about your admission, please feel free to contact us. And I thank everybody.